I spent much of my free time last summer playing saxophone with a group of friends, and it was a lot of fun. We'd start each jam session with beautiful harmonies, the room full of rich sounds coming from our instruments. But after just a few short minutes of some rather amazing music, there would be horrible dissonance. That's because we just hit the solo section, and we could never decide who deserved to play. The answer was obviously me, because of my godlike saxophone abilities, but unfortunately this seemed to be a view that only I believed in. Eventually, we all got tired of the arguments, and in a breakup more unfortunate than that of the Beatles, we decided to pursue our solo careers. So here I was, a saxophonist, sad and alone, looking for a buddy to share my musical talents with. But after just a short while of searching, I found an unlikely solution to my woes: artificial intelligence. So what is artificial intelligence? Simply put, artificial intelligence is a computer's ability to learn and mimic human intelligence. Upon hearing this, your mind might flash the apocalyptic scenes of Terminator, but I promise AI is not as menacing as it sounds. AI doesn't actually think for itself, at least not yet. It operates under the assumption that everything is like a math problem. And like me on my math test, it will endlessly guess and check any number of possibilities until it finds one that solves the problem the best. So back to my original issue. How could I bring a group of disagreeing musicians together with artificial intelligence? Well, in theory, AI can be used for anything. I could create a group of musicians who would jam with me and recognize my brilliance, and the solos would all be mine. Or a less antisocial approach would entail using artificial intelligence to create an adjudicator to decide who the best player was, and then they would get all the solos. The possibilities are endless. AI is being used in your daily life, and it represents a very important future for the advancement of mankind. In fact, you're using AI every day. One of the common associations is video games. Whenever you see "game over" flash across your screen, it's probably because you were bested by an AI player. And whenever you board a plane to escape Michigan for someplace warmer, the majority of your flight is controlled by autopilot powered by AI. In fact, the New York Times reports that just 7 minutes of the average flight of a Boeing plane is flown by humans, typically reserved only for takeoff and landing. The rest is all AI. AI has also made some very important advancements within the medical industry. When experts were challenged to gain meaningful insights from genetic data of tumor cells, they took over 160 hours to review and provide treatment recommendations based off their findings. IBM's Watson took just 10 minutes to deliver the same kind of actionable advice. This might sound just like jargon, but that basically means that the 8 years and all the money that your doctor spent trying to get a medical degree could be rendered useless by a computer. These are just some of the current uses of AI, and if I went over all of them, I'd be talking for hours, and none of us want that. The real future of AI resides in creating targeted and controlled systems designed for solving specific issues. Admittedly, there are skeptics of AI, and they're not exactly Luddites. Stephen Hawking, for example, once warned that AI could spell the end of the human race as we know it. But that assumption is based off the fact that we create some sort of all-knowing AI system with vast amounts of general knowledge. The real future of AI resides in creating targeted and controlled systems designed for solving specific issues. They would work in tandem with us to create a better, more productive society. And they can help us with anything from complex surgeries to social interactions. Now, but the key to staying dominant over AI is keeping up with its intelligence. One way to do this, according to Ian Pearson, is linking AI directly with humans. That could be done with a neural chip, for example, making us cyborgs in a sense. Imagine if you could download new languages or new skills. Maybe you wouldn't have to reply to your text messages anymore because AI has the ability to do that for you. In fact, it's being implemented in mobile applications today like Google Ally. You wouldn't have to listen to your friend's rants anymore or that bad breakup that somebody went through. You could have your phone reply to it for you, and any information that you missed by not reading your text messages could be read in one quick synopsis, curated by your phone or the neural chip that I was mentioning earlier. Now, after listening to me spout a plethora of potential uses for a technology that Hollywood and extremely qualified scientists have warned against, you might be wondering if there's any merit in pursuing such a treacherous technology. The truth is, if we never pushed our scientific boundaries, we wouldn't have airplanes or cars or many of the modern amenities that we've grown so accustomed to. Just like how the Wright brothers' rickety glider eventually evolved into a 600-mile-per-hour metal tube hurtling through the air, AI could evolve into technologies we can't even imagine.